start it at the same point, but it feels like the music goes
longer,
further in.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that is because it's the same track.
Same place.
Pre-recorded track.
It's fine. Still figuring it. What, a year and a half in? Still figuring it out.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So in studio today we got Chris.
Hello.
Chris
How's
Q.
everybody doing? Doing? A lot of my friends know me as Alistina, and your dad may know me as Ali J.
Oh, okay.
Oh, snap.
All right.
I
respect
Do you
it.
watch Euphoria?
Oh my God, I love Euphoria. That's
Dude.
like the fact that we have to wait till 2024 for another season. Let me just say now, like, that's bullshit. So like, someone like bring the drugs, get the camera, because at this point I'm gonna be real. I love the show.
Isn't it crazy? Like you would think, like, I mean, I guess nowadays the way that like shows work out, you're not committed to one show like Seinfeld or Friends or The Office. You're not doing 10 seasons in a row and nothing else.
Yeah.
Like towards the end of Friends, they started doing movies and stuff in between. But I mean,
an amazing show, an amazing cast. I love the diversity, and how it just shows, you know, everybody is human. Yeah. We all have problems, and it's just a relatable show. I think everybody should watch it if you don't watch it.
Yeah,
he told me about it. And I was like, yeah, man, like I've heard about it. I hadn't watched it or anything. And I was like, so man, I was like, I might, well, no, hear me out. I was like, yeah, I might start it. We were on a road trip when he was telling me about this. So we get back on like a Sunday, I think. Yeah, we got back on a Sunday. And the next Monday, I was like, I had the day to my, like, just chill or whatever. And I was like, I might start that. Yeah. And I watched it. I finished both seasons by Tuesday night. I watched all of the 2 seasons.
Isn't it? Like,
I could not stop watching it.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and I think it's because there are like some of the characters I feel like maybe aren't relatable, like because maybe they won't be in our life. Like I don't know the football dad.
Yeah.
Like I don't know the dad like that. I mean, I know coaches that were very similar to him, but I don't know his backstory. Like I'm not privy to that, right?
Yeah.
But
or maybe
like
you do,
Fez,
you just don't know them.
Fez, I love Fez.
Yeah.
Fez or fucking Ash.
Spicy white boy.
Dude, like
Fez is my favorite person of all time.
Yeah,
straight
like, you know who
dude.
Fez reminds me of? Gabe.
Yeah.
He's got that.
He's very fucking.
He's got freckles and he's
right.
got the scruff, and you're like, bro, he's got the tattoos, and like,
and
he's
he
gonna
like
get
cares.
shot up.
He like cares for people. He's like a really good person.
Yeah,
Fez is awesome.
Yeah.
I have to say, Rue though. I mean. Without Zendaya Coleman, let's talk about her acting.
Yeah. That's what I was about to
and
say.
For me, it was so weird to kind of see Zendaya play this role, you know, because I remember her from Disney Channel.
Oh yeah,
Shake It Up or whatever.
Dude, I just found out about this music video.
She kind of did her thing with music for a little bit. That was kind of cool. But to see her play like a drug addict in high school, I think it's just
she's never portrayed a role
really took her out of her element. So that was beautiful to see.
Yeah, I mean, she killed it too.
You know,
I mean,
she should do music with Willow. Like
it.
them musically, like their sound is very similar, and like their voices, I think would play off well. You know.
Yeah. You know, she's super talented, super very versatile.
Yeah.
I think you throw anything towards her, she's gonna kind of like me.
Yeah. I think what she like shines in though, and I really hope that she never gets too far away from this, is that like she's almost like Chandler on Friends. She's got that witty sarcasm, and it's like she can get right back at you real quick, and then like it doesn't really take away from her. She's just like, bam.
You know, I actually didn't really watch Friends.
Really?
Yeah. How many seasons of Friends are there? I just started How to Get Away with Murder,
10.
and I'm like trying to catch up with that 10 seasons. So
it went for 10 years
I think
exactly.
there's more than that.
More seasons?
I think
10
than Friends.
I don't think so. If there's more, it's 11.
I'm gonna Google it.
Total. But everything. It goes from 95 to 2005, and I'll put money on that.
Okay.
Like, I kind of remember being a kid.
94 to 2004.
You know, kind of going around on the TV, but it's not something that was intriguing to me. Not something I was like, ooh, Friends is on.
Yeah.
Let's watch it.
Did you have a show like that like, because like that's what we watched growing up, like with our or like our parents watch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, was there a show like that you had? Like, was it Seinfeld or anything like that?
Well, see, I was kind of raised, well, not kind of, but I was raised in a Puerto Rican household, so I didn't have like the typical, you know, Disney Channel specifically. Like, we had the fucking Spanish cable package, you know, Univision, Telemundo, things like that. So my mom was constantly watching church stuff or watching like soap operas, La Fea Más Bella. That was one of my favorites. So it wasn't till like I was a teenager to where I really digged into like the English kind of television.
Gotcha.
So when you did dive in, were you more like were you trying to go back a little to kind of relate to like what people might have watched, or were you like hitting what's hot right now?
What was hot at that time? I remember fucking Arthur, PBS, Clifford.
Yeah, Clifford
let me
dog,
see.
dude, fuck,
Ned's
dude. They did, like, a real
Declassified
movie to
School
that.
Survivor Guide.
Yeah.
Victorious. That's So Raven.
Yeah.
Of course, those were kind of the
That's
shows.
So Raven was a hit or two.
Yeah,
I
she
never
was
got.
hilarious.
I was never that era. I was Even Stevens.
Even
or
Stevens?
like
Yeah, I remember
Okay.
that.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Smart Guy.
Did you fuck
Malcolm
with Malcolm
in the Middle a little bit.
Smart guy.
Life
What was
is
that?
Smart Guy
unfair.
is with the fucking little guy. He was super duper smart. He was like 10 and he was in high school classes with everyone else, and he was like smarter than them.
I don't know.
The dad
I've
was
never
really
watched that.
popular for being on other like
Super funny.
UPN shows. Like they were like huge black 90s sitcom, but he was in a few of them. He was also like cop in another show. I can't remember what else, but dude, yeah, there was like so many of those sitcom type things. Like even before that, like Family Matters. Everybody knows Urkel and like
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Nick at Night. All those good shows after 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Supposed to be sleep, but you know you're staying up late.
See, I was in that era of like wrestling was big in that time.
I
when
actually
was
loved wrestling, believe it or not. WWE, I fucked with The Rock, you know, with his little one eyebrow.
Yeah.
Undertaker, Ed Hardy.
Hey.
No
Okay.
way. Not Ed,
Not
but it was
Ed
the
Hardy.
brothers.
Jeff
Ed
Hardy.
It was
Not Ed
Jeff and
Hardy.
Matt.
it was
Jeff
the
and Matt,
brothers.
but
The
no, I
brothers.
got
Wasn't
you.
it two of them?
Yeah, Jeff
okay,
and
it was
Matt,
two of
yeah.
them, yeah. So me and my brothers, you know, I was the baby out of all my siblings. So I grew up with brothers and they loved wrestling. They fucking loved PlayStation, Mortal Kombat, Tomb Raider,
Ooh,
Spy
Tomb Raider was
Filter.
huge on PlayStation.
Yes.
That was crazy,
Metal Gear Solid.
dude. That Snake. That was like the first
Snakes
game
don't
ever
belong
like
in
that.
Alaska.
Yeah. So like that was the first game I ever played where you're not the first person and you can actually see the body.
Oh, like
I
a
never
third
got
person?
into games where you just see the hands
Yeah.
and you're walking around. I can't
Yeah.
do that shit. But if I can see the
It
body,
still fucked you up.
yeah, I still can't do the two fucking
Joystick thing.
can't do that.
No, 007 though off rip
Yeah.
was like the game. Nintendo 64.
Oh yeah.
I
Yes,
I
and I
love
remember every
007.
time you got
Old school
killed,
shit.
the
That was-
blood would just come down the
yeah.
yeah.
That was some old school. That was probably the first. That was the first system I played. But I was like 4 or 5.
See, I was
yes.
on Mario
That
was my
shit.
first.
okay. Yes, I love Mario.
Yeah.
Super Mario.
That was like a good trilogy of games, like that original Mario.
I never got really
64?
into that.
Have
I'm
you
not gonna-
played
but
it
I
on?
think I was just past the like.
So
the
you never got
really
Donkey Kong
heavy-
either?
Donkey Kong was
No.
lit. Super
Dude.
Smash Brothers. Did you ever get into that?
No, nothing like that.
No.
Yeah, for real.
Not
I
on the
mean,
GameCube.
For some reason, that doesn't surprise me.
No.
You don't seem like a
seemed-
game guy.
Yeah, I mean, my little brother got the gaming gene. I think.
Really?
My older brother, my little brother. But I, for some reason, was just like, nope,
No,
and just missed on it. I guess. But I mean, I still played like, I don't know. We played a
Racing
bunch of
games or anything?
yeah. We played racing games. We played like flight
Midnight
simulator games, like
Madness.
Top Gun games. Yeah, did those.
Okay, so
Did like Rock Band and shit. That was a little bit later on, but like
that I feel like even though it's supposed to be super
like
simple,
the
it's still very
Aladdin
hard.
games back on Nintendo 64.
Aladdin?
Yeah,
They had
there was an
Aladdin
Aladdin game on it. Nintendo
What would you even
64.
do on there?
You flew a carpet or something. I don't know, but I remember playing it specifically. I remember that one and like
Okay.
Genesis or no, what was it?
The Sega Genesis.
Yeah, there was something
had that-
on
there
that
was-
console though.
Was it Twisted Metal? You know,
I
you
remember
drive around in
Twisted
cars and you
Metal.
try to kill each other and you
That
shoot
was
rockets.
That
dope.
sounds sick though.
Dude,
Twisted Metal was
super
lit.
fucking dope.
It
Yeah.
sounds like Death Race as a game.
It exactly
Okay,
is.
cool.
Except
Literally.
Yeah.
there's no race. You're all dropped
Just
on this map and you're trying
killing
to
each
kill
other.
one another and you get to hide behind buildings and drive around. And like the main thing was this like ice cream truck with like a flaming head on the top.
Oh,
It
word.
was
Oh,
so
you're taking
fun.
me back.
Yeah, dude.
You're taking me back.
It
right
was
now,
so
yeah.
cool. Like I remember I had a few games on demos and that was like one of the demos that I ended up burning through.
Oh,
Like
really?
I played it so much that there was like warped things on it, so it wouldn't go like you'd start the game and then it'd
Yeah.
play like a minute in and then it'd stop.
Damn.
Did you ever play that Casanova? I think it was Casanova. It was like that vampire kind of game. Probably not. It's probably not Casanova, but that was pretty big too. Oh yeah,
you guys-
y'all took me
Spyro
way
was
back.
big.
Spyro, Crash
I remember
Bandicoot.
that.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
another one.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
I know that.
Fuck.
Ratchet and Clank.
That was
That
big,
was
too.
a good one too.
That was
I
big,
remember
too.
that.
Did you ever play Gundam? The Gundam games?
I never got to know, but I loved the way Gundam looks.
That was a
Oh,
You
cool
see the
game.
videos in like Japan where it's like full body Gundams that
Oh,
are like,
yeah,
is that real?
No, it's gameplay footage from that.
Really?
Newer gameplay footage.
I mean, the footage looks literally unbelievably real.
Yeah.
Like, you would play it now, like, if it just said breaking news and it did that,
Yeah.
I'd be like,
that's happening now.
oh, we're fucked.
yeah. They're taking over.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people probably wouldn't assume that I know all of these games, but I was a gamer. Like I said, I grew up with older brothers, so I would always watch them play Resident Evil, all of those games, Silent Hill.
That got big, too, and the movies for that got big. I never got into that. And not that I was against it, but it, like, missed me. You know how you'll be in, like, a genre of something? Yeah, and, it, like, I don't listen to these bands, but, like, My Chemical Romance, I listened to a few songs. But then there was a band called, like, Alkaline Trio, and that was, like, had a cult following. And it, like, it just never hit me. Not that, I'd never even heard their music. I still don't know what it sounds like. It just missed me. Like, it just, like, walked right by me, and I didn't see it or
It was,
nothing.
like, early 2000s or something?
It had to be, yeah, like, early 2000s.
yeah.
It, like, was blown up, like everybody knows Welcome to the Black Parade. Like, I can't think of any lyrics to it right this second, but fucking
that one.
It's a piano and it's like the boy talking about him and his dad.
There's a piano.
I fucking remember it, but just not right now.
Yeah, see, I had a late start, like, with shit like that, too. You know, Disney Plus has been out for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
So I actually took my time and actually watched, like, every major Disney movie. Like, my friends were like, you have to watch this, you have to watch this.
Yeah.
I was kind of bored, but I was like, you know what, let me kind of live their childhood through Disney Plus. I think it's cool.
What was one that really hit you that you were like, ugh, this is gonna be boring?
Smart House. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you guys watched
Smart House.
Smart House. It was, yeah. I kind of, it grew on me, and then Pixel Perfect was kind of cool too.
That one.
It was. I'm probably saying it wrong, but I think
like
it's
Smart
Pixel
House
Perfect.
because of like the type of jokes and things it would make. I was like, I remember this when I was a kid, but it didn't land on me.
Yeah.
Now it hits perfectly.
Damn. Yeah, that would be cool.
Like the
See,
house
that's
got
cool
jealous.
going back and watching.
literally
did.
Oh,
Super
for
jealous.
sure,
Literally got
dude.
jealous.
Yeah.
That's cool to like going back and watching them though. Like that would be cool to do now because like that was what I grew up like. I was not allowed to watch like Cartoon Network or anything like that. It was just Disney movies. Like that's it, bro. Because I was like really like as a child very sheltered, you know. So I couldn't watch anything that was So, but. Going back and watching those now would be really cool because I haven't seen a lot of those
people
movies.
really love having kids. Like in our age, like they'll have kids right now, and they'll fall in love with that because they get to relive nostalgic times in their life.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So how many brothers you got, or how many siblings?
So
in general?
I have 2 older brothers, and I have a sister, and I'm the baby. You know, we're kind of. It's funny because my mom literally had all of them in July. In the 20s. So my sister's the July 22nd. One of my brothers is the 26th. And then the oldest is the 29th. I'm like, Mom, how the fuck did you like...
She got that figured
Granted,
out.
you know, there
What's
was
your birthday,
a couple... I'm in January, all the way in January. And that probably explains a lot.
Jay, though.
Jay.
Still Jay, though.
But it's like, how do you manage that? Like, and there's not a big gap as far as age between those 3. And then she took a break with me, and then boom, January. But yeah, I'm a Capricorn, and I take pride in being a Capricorn.
Do you guys all have the same dad and mom?
Yes.
See, I have 3 sisters, 2 of them by my dad and their mom, and then I have a sister by my mom. How does that work? Hold on. My mom and her dad, so it's like I have no full-blooded like siblings.
It's super important, you know.
5 new ones.
You have 5 new ones.
Yeah, that I think it's 5. It's either 5 or 4.
You have 5 new babies?
Siblings. Yeah,
I'm lost.
My dad is getting married.
Okay.
Woo! No, seriously, he just got engaged like last week.
She has 5 children.
She has 5 children. They're getting married in June.
How old is she?
So
there's no way she's 30, like you said. I'm just saying.
hey, she is.
She's 30.
She's not 30. Period.
Okay.
There's another number, but I'm not gonna put that out in the world because I don't want her to get mad.
It's cool.
Okay.
I
respect
that.
that.
So that's pretty cool. So now there's 9 of us. Sick.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So what are they? Boys, girls, all
mix,
one thing?
Mix of them.
That's beautiful.
But yeah,
Look at Baker's dozen now.
Yeah. There's a movie about us.
Yeah.
There's a movie. But yeah, so that's cool. I don't think I've met all of them, to be honest with you. Don't think I've met.
You guys need to have just a big old reunion.
I wouldn't
that'll be
assume you
fun.
have. Like, they're kind of new, you know?
Well, I mean, like throughout even the dating thing. Like,
I wouldn't assume that. That'd be weird to bring all the kids on a date, you know?
No, not like a date. I just mean like, I don't know. We've had like Christmases and shit together.
Oh, word. This is like,
This is hitting you really weird.
yeah, it is, because I thought this was way newer than this. I thought
mean,
this is like just happened. My bad,
I
dude.
mean,
We can talk about it later.
yeah, we
Not
can
a
talk
big
about this
deal.
later.
That's funny.
So when you were growing up,
God.
it seems like you had a lot of influence by your brothers.
Absolutely.
From like what you're saying, right?
Absolutely, but I also have to say I was raised by strong women. I never knew my father. You know, a lot of people think, oh, you know, women can't raise boys, but no, that's bullshit. Like, I was raised by super duper strong women, and my mom, she did everything. She did everything for us.
Okay.
I'm gonna go check that. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll keep talking.
Did you guys order pizza?
No, and I don't know who'd be knocking on the door that hard.
Because I am hungry.
Um,
No, but definitely just the upbringing of strong women in my life, you know, I feel like has played a role in the person I am today.
yeah.
Yeah, I never knew my father. I think he got deported, if I'm not mistaken, to his country. He's actually from Honduras.
Wow.
That's something people probably don't know about me.
So,
is that
Honduran and you said
my mother's Puerto Rican, my father's Honduran, born and raised in Miami. My mom came to Miami, Florida. She came to Miami, Florida when she was about 4 or 5 years old with her family, you know, just for better opportunities, X, Y, and Z.
should have invited him to sit down.
Not gonna do
Like,
that.
you want to sit down on the couch?
Not gonna do
We
that.
have a great
I was
interview
like,
going
yeah.
on.
I was like, yeah, actually, we're doing a podcast right now. They were like, oh, are you recording it or listening? I was like, recording. Why do you think I don't want to talk to you? If I was listening to a podcast, I would just pause it, but it's fine.
You should have invited him. in.
Gosh, dude.
Yeah, you should have been like, come sit.
Knock for Jesus. Sorry. Anyway.
But you were saying Honduran and
Yeah, so my
Puerto
father's
Rican.
Honduran, my mother is Puerto Rican. And, you know, just growing up in that household, I will say it was very strict. We grew up in a Pentecostal church. You know, I was in church every Sunday, Saturdays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in church growing up, not specifically by choice. Yeah. You know, everyone, however they feel about religion, they're entitled to that. But, like, for me, there's just certain things that I was just like, And I'm just going to say Christians and Pentecostal people, they're the most judgmental people I think I've ever met.
Dude.
But we won't get too in depth with that.
They have a lot of Christian documentaries out.
Why
Not
do you
for
think
that.
that
We won't
is?
get too in depth with that. But no, like, I won't take anything away from my upbringing. I think my mom did a fabulous job. And, you know, one thing and I'm just going to share this with you guys. One thing she always says is, would it have been different? Or do you think you would have been a different person had your father been present? I was destined to be who I am today. There's nothing that you could have done as a parent differently. You did an amazing job. So shout out to you, Mom.
Yeah, shout out, Mom.
Yeah.
Shit,
I feel
dude.
like who you are, like, for example, I lean on this a lot. I'm dumb.
He is
I feel
very
like
dumb.
whether or not my parents would or wouldn't have been around or been around more or less, I don't think I'm inherently going to be smarter. I'm just who I am.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I react differently to certain situations.
Yeah.
Like, things like
Well,
that. But
and it's hard to put yourself in a place that you've never been before. You
Yeah.
know, like imagine trying to imagine something that you can't. How do you even grasp?
yeah, imagine
that?
growing up in Alaska. Like, don't they only
Absolutely.
see
Bro, what?
summer for like 3 months straight? Like, the sun never goes down and then it's dark forever?
Yeah, and then it just is.
I
dark.
could not be talking
How-
about the right location, but
Yeah, we're not even close, but it's fine.
You know, I will say times were hard, but
Yeah.
I mean, being an adult now, just, you know, that famous saying, money doesn't grow on trees. Like, no, that's fucking true. Like, she did the best she could do, and
Yeah.
I would never take anything away from that.
Something
It's
about
hard.
a mother and a son's relationship too is very special because,
Absolutely.
like,
it's the first
There's-
woman you ever loved.
right, for
Absolutely.
sure.
Like, and they steal your heart in that way. Because
But-
you're just like, they're nurturing. That's
Yeah.
what you're wanting.
Yeah, but there's also something too about having your mom call you by your first and middle name. That will, I mean, like,
Oh,
because
you're in
like
trouble.
you know, like yeah, like you're saying, she's the first woman you ever love. But there is not one person that I've ever been more scared of than my mother. Because
Yeah.
like, dude,
I
like
agree.
straight up.
It's got to be a level of respect, too.
Oh,
Because you know
100%.
that they've been through the thick of things with you.
Oh, yeah.
When you weren't acting right, when
Yeah.
you didn't know how to eat, they taught you everything, basically.
Oh, yes.
And it's like, dude, you had to wipe my ass, and you still are putting up with my shit?
She's like
Damn.
4'8", but like little angry Puerto Rican woman. Like, you know when to sit up straight.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
like,
for
you
sure.
just knew when to sit up straight.
Oh gosh. So did I miss what brought you to Pensacola? Was I
No,
answering the door for that?
didn't
So
specify
long story
yet.
short, growing up in Miami, South Miami Heights specifically, there was a lot of violence. Violence everywhere you go, but I don't know. I can't tell you how many times I peeked out the window and witnessed my mom's car getting fucking broke into, or us literally having a conversation outside. Some mugglers came and fought my brother and took nothing out of my mom's purse. But anyways, she just wanted a better life, I guess you can say, for us. My auntie was living here at the time. This was maybe 15 years ago or so, maybe a little less than that. But yeah, she was like, this is a great place for kids. You should come. There's work, blah, 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 blah. My mom, she does everything. She does cleaning. She, fucking CNA, home health aid. She was big into all of that. So work wasn't really hard for her specifically, but the main move was for a better life, essentially, for us when we came here.
So does that mean you're bilingual, I guess?
Of course.
Are you, is Honduran a different...
So, I mean,
language
essentially,
as
it's
well?
all just Spanish. You know what
It's
I mean?
just
Like,
different-
Honduran, Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, they all speak Spanish. I mean, you have your slangs.
Dialects and
you know, how you say certain things, but... Yeah, Puerto Ricanos, I had no choice but to speak Spanish, like I said. And my mom kind of married a lot. And every man she married...
My mom married 5 times.
Yeah,
She's going
so-
for 2 hands now. Okay.
Every man she married spoke no English, so I had no choice but to hablar español en la casa.
Word.
But no, yeah, I love it. I love being bilingual. I love being able to help people, that might not know how to say certain things.
Yeah.
But body language, it's all fucking body language. It's so amazing how you can really communicate with people just by doing a hand gesture or just the most simplest thing, And then, Apple makes everything easier with that Translate app.
Translation, straight up, dude.
So I'm super big into 90 Day Fiance and things like that, right? And in this show, they get married or want to get married or become fiancés and find these people literally from all over the world. How has Google Translate or Apple, whatever other product there is, how do they not sponsor the show?
I don't know.
That
dude.
is a...
You would think.
Yeah.
That's a fast food show and
McDonald's ain't there.
Isn't somehow brought to you by...
Yeah.
That is a perfect marriage because they're always literally on their phone
Oh, just sitting there translating.
they're like, yo, I don't know what the fuck you said.
Yeah.
And then it's the phone is in the screen 30 minutes of the hour episode. And I'm
it's
like,
all Apple.
how is that not brought to you by
I'm
somebody?
kind of scared of Apple and Google. I feel like they just know too fucking much. At some point, when do they know more than us?
I was laying getting my belly tattooed the other day in the tattoo studio. And I'm laying there and I'm every once in a while I was trying to watch this Who's Number One card. Mm-hmm. And I'm like this, and I'm trying to watch it live, and he's tattooing my belly. On his ceiling, he has these flags, and they're a brand called Indestructible. I've never once Googled it. We didn't talk about the brand. I didn't talk about tattoos when I was with him, because we had already set what we were going to do. We just started talking about other shit, like movies and whatnot. I open up Instagram.
The first ad?
It's an ad for Indestructible flags, the tattoo flags that were there. The same flag was on the, and I talked to him about
weird,
this.
isn't
I was
it?
like, "How the fuck did it do that?"
It's
and he
so
goes,
weird.
"You
They're
know, they used the
watching.
front facing or the camera, so when you were this trying to watch the,
They saw.
yeah, it saw what you were looking at, so it suggested it to you."
Weird. It's so
That
weird.
is wild, dude. Yeah, I've had that happen where I'll have my phone in my pocket and have a conversation about something just randomly
fish radar.
Fucking... and then watch, I'm gonna get an ad for some random fish radar later today.
Isn't it weird?
Just randomly it'll come up and I'm like, well, how the fuck? And then I'll think back and I'll be like, I did say that one time 4 hours ago.
You know what's really funny about this though is we can use this excuse now. So if dick pills or something. Hey man, I didn't say that. That just all
pulled my
back
phone
in
out of the gas station earlier.
But
I
back
don't
in
know.
the day, how could they really play that off? They're like, I didn't order dick pills. Did you order dick pills? I didn't order dick pills. I don't know what this porn is. I didn't get this.
No idea.
I mean, I'll
didn't even
look
say
at
it.
it. I guess.
I mean, it's already up.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking.
Do you even know how many tattoos you have?
Me?
Literally, give me a fucking number because
All of them.
Well, from my waist up, everything touches. So that's 1, and then you got 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 on my butt. So 6.
How old were you when you got
On
your
my feet,
first
7, 8.
tattoo?
18.
18. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't believe you waited till you were actually legal to get a tattoo.
Well, I was offered when I was 16.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I was in a
remember this
tattoo
story.
parlor with my dad, and it was on very close to where we know each other. Like, it's like catty corner to that. It was near a Waffle House. There was a tattoo parlor in a brand new, like, strip mall thing. And I think it was called, like, 850 Inc. or something. It was
I think I remember that.
right?
Yeah.
I
think
went in
remember
there,
850.
and my dad got a tattoo. And I'm just turned 16, and my dad was like, he could tell I'm like kind of checking everything out. And I've been in tattoo parlors plenty because he's got a few tattoos. And he was like, what are you thinking? And I was like, I mean, there's some cool tattoos in here. I don't know. And he goes, are you ever think about getting one? And I was like, not really into tattoos. I think they're kind of dumb, you know? I mean, they're cool that you get them, but like they're not an interest of mine. And he goes,
10 years
cool.
later.
And he's like, well, what do you even like? And I was like, well, I'm really big into skateboarding, so I like the Thrasher logo. He goes, what if you could get that right now? And I was like, really? And he goes, I mean, I could sign off, right? And he looked at the guy, and he's like, yeah, we tattoo at 16, just parental consent. You got to have that. And he's like, well, I could do that. And he's like, think about it for a night. We thought about it the next night that we went, which was the very following night. Don't know why I said it like that. His girlfriend was getting a tattoo. So my dad was like, just sleep on it. If you want it tomorrow, we'll get it. And I was like, dude, this isn't... I'm going to be the coolest kid.
High school, bro.
Right?
Coolest kid in
Thrasher,
high school,
just a
bro.
logo? And I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, you can't test my credit, dude. It's
Yeah.
right here.
What's up, dude?
I got a badge on me,
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah. No, I skate.
No, yeah.
What's up, dude?
I would just be like, no, I get it. I would just show my arm places, right? And so I was sitting there thinking, by the time we got there the next day, like when I woke up the morning of, I was like, I'm going to get that. I'm going to do it. By the time we got there, I was like, it's a logo. Mm-hmm. In my head, that's all I could think about. I was like, this is a logo that, like, I love skateboarding. Still to this day, love skateboarding. So happy I didn't get it. Because if not, it would just say Thrasher in the middle of my sleeve.
Yeah.
Who knows if I would have got a sleeve anymore, but, like...
Yeah, that could have changed your entire
Yeah.
outlook on tattoos at that point,
Like,
though.
fucking, what is a big fishing brand?
Nomad.
Igloo coolers. If you got Igloo coolers tattooed on your fucking arm, you would hate it.
Yeah, 100%.
You got to make sure tattoos are meaningful. Like
Yeah.
they have to
Yeah.
have some type of purpose. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and you don't always have
Yeah.
to tell people. You might get this sometimes based off of like how you dress in certain places, right? I can't stand when somebody walks up to me and they're like, tattoos, huh? And then they'll go, gotta have meaning, right?
yeah.
And I'm like, hey, who are we talking to? Okay. Like,
Yeah. Why are we talking like this?
yeah. And then they'd be like, what's the story, dude? And I'm like, well, that's for me.
Why? Yeah. Why do I have
Why
to
do- yeah,
explain
like-
my story to you?
And sometimes people don't always get tattoos for like a thing. Sometimes like
Yeah.
I have so many that
Spur of
like
the moment.
yeah, sometimes like an artist, if you know them really well, they'll be like, yo, I just want to get this piece out.
Yeah.
I'll do it for free if you just come up here now.
Yeah.
And I have pieces like that. Like I do like a majority of them period have like something to it. Like I have a meaning behind it or like they're attached to somebody or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, the thing like your hair, you probably get this about your hair. Like, wow, you got a lot of hair.
Oh, all the time.
Wow, you're so dumb as shit for saying something so obvious.
Yeah, it's like, hey, what products do you use? I'll do some reviews on some products.
Yeah, you should do that for sure because
Yeah.
that might be helpful. But what might I do about my tattoos? I didn't do them. I sat there. I literally have nothing to bring to the table. I never understood that compliment. Oh, you got a lot of
sick
tattoos. Dude, how many older people are like, oh, I'm just looking. And I'm like, I'm just fucking annoyed you're looking.
Yeah.
Don't look.
I have people tell me they're like, "Whoa, dude, nice tattoos." I'm like, didn't do them.
That's
Thanks,
cool.
though.
But that's cool. But that's different. But it's like when somebody, it's the same thing as like when they say that's a lot of tattoos as, wow, you're tall. If they say like,
I say,
wow, you
listen.
got a tattoo, that is annoying because it's like,
I'm one of
yeah,
those dudes
yeah.
that's like, wow, you're tall.
Yeah.
That's me. I can't. If somebody that's like 6'9" walks in the room, I'm gonna be like, why you so big? You know, like that's who I am.
You're like,
I
Well,
can't,
everybody's taller than
I
me.
can't
so.
do it. I can't not be that guy.
yeah, why is that
unfortunately.
though? So
I don't know.
I guess in that sense, we're all kind of that guy that says
We
something
are.
like that.
You're
where
that
we're like,
guy at one point in
Absolutely.
time. You know, you're that person.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, but we grow and we learn. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine. Yeah.
it's a weird thing there. I don't know.
So many tats, bro.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
Do you have
I
any
don't even know where to
tattoos?
start. I have a couple, but I mean, just simple shit. Like I have like 3. You have like
9,000.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, going
A lot of
back
pain.
now, you'll go through like you. I don't know about you or you, but like I have so many that now I'm like, man, I would have did that way different. Like something on my body that like
Because you're running out of space. You're like,
Yeah.
why did I use that space up for that?
yeah, there's so many tattoos that I'm like, ooh, you know, it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Do you
don't
think
have that
at some
spot.
point you'll do any face?
I'll never fucking touch. I might go in front of my ear, like just a little something,
You wild.
maybe.
Bro, you
Okay.
wild.
But if I do something like that, or if it touches past my hairline onto my face, no, I'm making money.
I was about to say, man.
Because if it ain't
Yeah.
making money, it ain't making sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It don't make dollars.
I'll tattoo some on my head, probably a little more.
Do you remember your first one?
Yeah, this "In God We Trust" on my arm.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was like, ideally,
That's such an aggressive one for right off rip, huh?
yeah.
Just like right down the.
Oh, on the
fucking-
right
right
down.
down
Really? I
Main
mean, you got
Street.
the big D on your
Up here.
thing first, right?
Yeah. No, this was my first one.
What is
My
it?
tit tattoo. My tit too.
Your
The
titty.
breast cancer one.
See, that's aggressive. That's
On
your
my
titty,
tit?
dude.
Bro, I wear a shirt all the time.
Yeah,
You know
but
how
when
long I
you
had this
don't-
tattoo before my dad even knew I had it?
Yeah, you told me about it, like years.
Like almost, it was like 8 months before
Okay.
we went to the beach one day, and I took my shirt off, and I was like, I forgot I had it, and
Yeah.
he still hadn't seen it, and I was 16 at the time, so that
yeah.
that had something to do with it. But,
And if you ever plan on moving weight, that thing gonna move itself.
dude, you know it's
That
funny?
chest thing, you're gonna go. It's gonna go right up on your shoulder.
spread out all over my yeah.
I can't.
No,
Yeah, it's
fine.
gonna go from a
It
ribbon to a
already,
banner.
it's already looking pretty old.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
But I mean, it was fucking.
but it means
6 years
something,
ago.
right?
There you
7
go.
years ago.
As
Yeah.
long as it means something
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah, it definitely.
So
means
what's the
something.
big D on your arm mean?
Big D was for my last name.
Okay. Your last name is Big D?
Big D. That's what they call
Hilton
me.
Big D.
No, this was for when my parents got divorced.
I've seen
What's
a
it
couple
say?
usernames
It says,
like that before.
life's not a bed of roses, but it's always beautiful. Under it.
Word. I
And
mean,
that was it was just after. It was right when I turned 18, and my parents had just finalized their divorce.
yeah.
And
So the D stands for divorce.
something also,
divorce.
I guess
Big
big
divorce.
divorce.
Big divorce
Oh, it
guy.
was for Davis, but I mean, shit. I guess divorce now too. But
You're like, I like divorce a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, my first tattoo was like some fucking cheetah print on my top left shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if I could go back, I wouldn't have gotten it. But
Yeah.
my fucking friend, being a friend, she was like, "Hey, let's get animal print on us." I love cheetah print,
Yeah.
but it's probably something I would have never done.
How big is it? Like, if you
It's
put your
honestly
hand up,
not super big. I mean, it kind of goes over my shoulder a little bit, but it's not like a.
would it be
big,
hard to
big
cover
spot.
up?
Not specifically.
The
no.
issue is like in these things like that. That'd be hard to cover
Yeah,
up.
you're not covering this up.
You can't cover that up other than just filling in around it and making that a sleeve
Whole
now.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, like just black and flowered,
Yeah.
which would be sick as fuck still.
Yeah.
You know, like if you weren't so into divorces, like I would say, like
Yeah,
just
I mean,
fucking run
I've
it
been
down.
married 3 times, divorced 3 times. You
Yeah.
know, like I'm into it.
You're Ross.
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Sick.
Well, he didn't get divorced 3 times. He got married 3 times. He never got divorced from Rachel at the end.
Oh,
Now,
that's
is
true.
it more expensive to get married or is it more expensive
Oh,
to get the
divorce, for
divorce?
sure.
Hold on. Well, that
Sure.
itself is like up in the air too.
What do you mean?
So like, it's always like I assume the same price to get married. What you do to celebrate that is what costs different. But to get divorced is way more expensive.
Yeah.
I'm taking your shit, dude.
Sure, dude.
I don't think I'll ever get
Sure.
married. I don't know if marriage is for me.
Are you down with the prenup? If so,
Better hit him with the prenup.
It depends on who. You know, it
real.
depends on who. But I mean, I don't know if marriage is really for me. But it would kind of be nice, you know, to get this big ceremony going and the family coming over and all of that.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I never was super into the idea of like getting the government involved. And I know this sounds like so conspiracy theory, but like getting the government involved in something.
Where
What?
you at? Larry, where
Yeah,
you at?
Larry, where are you at? Getting them involved in something that I didn't have to go to them for to find. Like, if I fell in love with Hilton, I didn't have to ask our mayor. I'm like, yo, you got a guy?
Yeah.
I need a guy.
Yeah.
But now I gotta be like, I gotta get rid of this fucking guy.
Yeah.
I don't like that guy for shit.
I don't know. I just feel like we also live in a generation where love, relationship, marriages is just not the same like
It's
as it
not.
was.
So
it's
different.
definitely
So
changed.
different,
It's definitely
you know.
changed.
This
If you're thinking traditionally wise,
Right.
it's so different.
so different.
Right. But I mean, there's a big part of me that it romanticizes that.
Yeah.
Like I love the idea of like
Love.
yeah, I love that. Like a family, growing up, having a family, like having a wife, like all that shit is so, to me, it's like that's amazing. Like, and at some point I'd love to have that. You know, but I think now it's so different because not everybody's on the same level as that. Everybody looks at, I mean, social media's done all kinds of shit to love, but you know, I think everybody has a different point of view on what love is. I mean, and that's what love is, I guess. But I don't know. It's a weird.
Cutting back to Euphoria, that gives you another good image of love is so different.
Very
Love
true.
has so many different folds and
Oh,
different
yes.
like avenues and different tastes and sounds and
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's like
Yeah. So you just don't think the marriage is for you, huh?
Hey,
is it because you haven't found a person that you
there
felt?
we go. If
Yeah.
someone changes my mind, I'm open to so many different things. But as far as now, I'm worried about making my money, you know,
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
everything I want to fucking do without feeling restricted, you know, no
Yeah.
restrictions. But is love restrictions?
That's true. Like I will tell you this. I've obviously when you grow up and you like have relationships and like the time frames of them are like different. Like one will be a year, one will be 3 years, one will be like 6 months, and you're like, well, I might have loved the girl that I was with for 6 months versus like
hardest.
I was with the girl for 3 years and I didn't love as much. These are hypothetical, of course, but like don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know. For
Time
me,
has
especially
nothing to do
though,
with
like it's just hard to find genuine love. You know, I deal with a lot of men that just feel like, hey, are you gonna fucking dress up like this 24/7 when they don't realize, hey, this is just a job for me. You know. However, how I choose to present myself is how I choose to present myself. But there's a lot. It's just hard to date in the gay community. Period. Like there's a lot of boxes that they kind of throw you in. Like if an average guy kind of seen this, they would think, oh, she's a whore or she's a dominatrix. You know what I mean? But I'm so much more than what meets the eye. And I think that's what's so important about doing drag. You know, drag for me is being able to reinvent myself when I didn't feel good enough or just being able to be whoever the fuck I want to be. You know, there's no rules necessarily, but it's like when it comes to dating and you do drag, like a lot of these dudes, they want you to either be like this 24/7 or whatever the fuck. But it's like, no, like it's not Build-A-Bear. Like you get what you
This is
get
for
when you get it.
as well.
This is exactly
Yeah,
what I
this
was
is
trying
for
to
you.
say. Like in those like relationships and this like piggybacks on your point is I feel like all those times in my life, even currently and everything, I've never been with someone that I felt truly loved me for me. Like I was never allowed to be myself completely.
Yeah.
So I feel
That's
like
super hard for me. 'Cause
yeah,
it's like,
if that happens, will that change? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
is that going to be the thing, or will it be like, no, yeah, marriage still isn't for me. That's just who I am. Like, it's like,
it's a lot of fucking rules.
how
when it
could
comes
you
to
find
shit
somebody
like that.
like? I think you love me for me.
Oh yeah.
I love you for you.
Yeah.
There's things I hate about you,
No, I fucking hate
but
you most of the time.
but I love that you're you.
Yeah. No.
Like,
I know what you mean.
I wouldn't change anything about you.
I
About
changed.
who makes you you.
I wouldn't change anything
Okay,
about
so, like,
what you.
I
what
got a
you
list,
do,
though, dude. If you wanna go into this list, bro.
You want to get deep?
Yeah.
We can go. No, but I know what you mean, man. Like I'd change your face a little bit, but other than that,
Like,
that's
dude, I
pretty
would
much
change my face a
shit.
little bit. Like, maybe we can invest together.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, let's make some money first.
'Cause
Then
there's
we
some
can
gaps
start,
that just
we
aren't
can
adding up.
start fucking putting shit together, dog.
I can't.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, maybe one day, right?
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
One day. Maybe one day.
I think the true epitome of love and like what that really the mountain that you look at when you look at it is like it's got to be based off of like a friendship thing.
Absolutely.
Like we're not gay. I know we play like a lot of that on this and like people don't know, but like we're not gay. But I wish I had this
As a
connection.
girl.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like
But with
And I
somebody,
respect
yeah.
I
that.
see him
Yeah.
like in the
Absolutely.
face that he like we'll make a face, dude, and it's just like I had a shitty day, but it's like that face that he makes. It's like, oh, here we go.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
We fucking going, dude.
It's I think this is like our form of friendship is like really one of the truest friends or forms of friendship that I've. But and I have a lot of really
for sure.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
It's for sure
100%. And it's just we're both dudes, but
it's important to have those genuine friends, that you can be yourself with. You know, the dumb shit, the shit you're most insecure about. Like I just don't like the real friends that I actually have. Like I don't know how I would do life without them, because I can be whoever the fuck I want to be, and there's no judgment there. Like vice versa.
Now,
it's a very tough thing to find.
Have these friends that you have currently been around like as long as you've been able to be yourself, or was there a time honestly, where you like started coming out in front of them like this?
No, when I tell you, like the friends that I've had over 10 years ago are literally the friends I still rock with. It's so awesome. Important, you know what I mean? Even the friends back in Miami, like now granted, me coming into my own, it was a little different for my friends down south to be like, hey, Chris is doing this now. Oh, okay, interesting. Chris is going by Alestina on social media. And this is the thing. Social media for me is a platform to not only brand myself, but to be whoever the fuck I want to be. Yeah. And I don't post a lot of shit about Chris on social media because why? Yeah. Social media is whatever I want to make it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And rather it be this or that, but it's whatever the fuck I want to do. So I just think it's super important to just have those loyal friends that have rode with you since day one. Yeah. It's so important.
I feel like this would have been way more acceptable in Miami. I feel like it wouldn't have been as like...
Well, do you think that has something to do with because you're not there anymore, maybe, and they don't get...
They feel like
they don't have the one-on-one?
Yeah, they don't get it, but, I mean, even some of my ex-girlfriends, I dated girls, I still find women to be absolutely beautiful. I think of maybe falling in love. You never know. Yeah, I'm just such an open-minded person to where I'm not against anything.
Yeah, you're not confined into one whatever it may be.
I love... people for so many different reasons. Like
I hate to use this word because it's used so much, but love is a spectrum. Mm-hmm. It's like you can love what you love, who you love, when you love. Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy. Love is definitely wild, blind, all up in your face. Yeah. You can't find it sometimes, but
now is it harder to keep love going, or is it harder to fall in love?
Oh, I fall in love so quick, bro. I'm a sucker for
you fall in lust so quick. You haven't fallen in love yet.
Okay, but here's the thing. In
because
my head,
shitty fucking
in my
people,
head,
okay?
lust and love are the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So maybe I haven't found love yet.
That's right. Because
but for me, level. It's like, bro, when things are happening, it's like I'm in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the way I am. But I've always been that way, and I think, I think this comes back to like the traditional side of me is like romanticizing all that kind of stuff. It's like falling in love and like
hopeless
like build this. I'm hopeless for sure. But
you're like if I buy these roses, for sure she gonna fall in love.
She
gonna remember this forever. She gonna remember it next week.
Yeah,
and it's those simple things that girls love though. Yeah. See, I was the dude in high school to where like. I was cool with the straight boys because they knew I was around the females. Yeah. And it was like, you know what, man, Chris cool, all that gay shit. Besides all that gay shit, hey, talk to this girl for me. I can't tell you how many guy friends, and I don't have many, but the ones I do have, like, I cherish because they're not on no weird, like, nah, man, you sweet. Like, bro, I'm not, if I'm not disrespecting you, don't disrespect me.
Exactly.
I know my fucking limits, bro. Like, I'm not out here trying to take nobody's man or fucking change anybody, like... Yeah. But yeah, definitely like I was that guy that, the guys would be like, hey, talk to so and so for me. Yeah. And it's hilarious.
I think that's why we've always vibed because like I'm on that same wavelength of like respect me, I respect you.
Absolutely.
Right off.
If I'm not trying you, what the fuck are we? Yeah. I'm a human.
Yeah.
I have feelings. You have feelings, right? Yeah. I would never just go out of my way to make anybody feel uncomfortable. If anything, I want people to feel extremely comfortable around me because look at me. If I can walk out my fucking front door like this, anybody should walk in any room with their head held high.
Dude, it's wild because like when I was growing up, I would like dye my hair and like I think we talked about this on the podcast before. I got kicked out of a church over it. And it's like I would feel weird shame and stuff like I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm going to school with a mohawk." Like because of those situations that happen, I would translate that into now everybody's looking at me weird. Mm-hmm. Oh, I can't wear these skinny jeans because everybody's going to be looking at me like how they did when I had a mohawk. When nobody was looking at me. I mean, they looked at me because it looked cool or different or something. But in my head, I was like, everybody hates this.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that likes
I
this,
get
and
that.
why am I doing something I like when nobody else likes it?
I get that.
And that's still something
How'd
that
you
you
break?
deal with?
Yeah, how'd you break past that, or like?
For
are
me,
you-
like, to be honest, I've just never given a fuck. I mean, I've known myself for so long, and it's just so important to know who you are. You know, I mean, I still feel like in many ways I'm evolving, and I just want to do great things in the world. But as far as like just being myself, that's never been a problem for me. Like, I don't know. I just, you know, and I wish everybody had that confidence to be who they want to be, but it's so important. I think, you know, in today's world, we've come a lot further than, you know, where we've been.
Yeah.
I think it's very big of you to have me here today because I feel like you're breaking, you know, the standard of whatever the fuck. But
See, and there's no standard here.
Yeah.
Like, not in like a disrespectful way, but like we judge
I
nobody.
love that,
we don't
though.
want any.
I love
We don't
that.
want that
boundary.
I
yeah.
love that. And
This
that's-
is an open place.
It's so
Like,
important
we
to
don't
be
give a
like
fuck.
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if someone's not disrespecting you, then why not be their friend, or why not talk to them?
Yeah, and like part of the reason we wanted you on wasn't because of like just like the way that you look. It's like who you are too. Like
Yeah.
that's the way that you're
interesting-
approaching it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, that's the interesting stuff I feel like that we like to get into is like
Yeah.
where you know, like just hearing about it.
We're
just learning
curious
about
people,
it.
and it's
Yeah.
not just like we have people on that like we know a lot of stuff about. Like he's like I bring this up all the time. He cooks, but we have chefs on all the time. It's not just because we're like curious about things that we don't know about. We're curious about people in general.
Yeah.
Like
That's
if
beautiful.
the
People are intriguing to us.
yeah, if the person is interesting, dude, you could be homeless or you could paint walls one color.
Yeah.
If you do it with conviction and you're an interesting person, and that's what it is. It's not like I got a new mixtape out and I need to come on the show or
Yeah.
some shit.
Yeah.
That's what I can't stand. It's like
Yeah.
be you and like let that sell itself, because that is what people will be interested in.
Yeah.
Love
is
that. And
authenticity.
I feel like, you know,
100%.
doing podcasts, doing radio interviews, whatever the case may be, it's just so important to give everyone just that moment, that voice, you know, because you never know who you're going to touch at home. You never know who's listening. And, you know, being open for all audiences, like just being the ear for everybody. It's
yeah.
just,
And you don't know how much it means to the person on.
absolutely.
Like, not that I feel like we're, oh my God, we're this big thing, but it's like, we get a lot out of having someone on. So I can only imagine, like, we do this every Thursday. So, like, if we fuck up this week, it's okay. We got another one in the barrel. Not that we ever want to fuck anything up, but it's like, we get to try again next week or later on tonight or something, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, for the person, when they want to tell their story or they want to share something with us, that could be just as therapeutic as it is for us, because it's something they don't get to do this all the time.
Absolutely.
I mean, anybody can start a podcast, but it's like, this is
Right here, right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, this is my
Exactly.
first time, you know, doing anything like this. I mean, I've done a lot of kind of cool things with videos and things like that, but actually like having just that intimate conversation with,
past a look.
I just love it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like regardless, I could come in here with sweats and a t-shirt and I feel like you still would be the exact same way. And I love
100%.
that. I love it.
Yeah, I
That's the
appreciate
goal.
it.
No, I appreciate you.
Oh yeah.
I will say this though, and this is coming from me personally. How the hell do you wear all that? I'm hot always.
Yeah.
I'm
I've
always
been
I don't get
doing,
it.
you know, female impersonation for about 10 years now. This shit is, like I said, literally something I would go to get deli meat.
Yeah.
Like,
But I'm saying, like, how is your hands and your feet now just literally on fire?
I'm so used to it, you know, being backstage, performing, like
Oh, I
spotlights.
think, yeah,
it's
stage
such
is
a
probably
fast
so
Explain
life.
what
hot.
that's like,
It's such
because
a
obviously
fast
we don't do
life,
that.
bro.
But
Like when I tell you, you literally just have to put this shit on and just wear it for a couple minutes, you know, depending on the venue. I mean, different venues call for different things, but yeah, I mean, I just kind of, I don't know, like this is really nothing. Like this is just, I don't know.
what is a night? What is a night performing like? Is it like you perform once and you're done, or is it like you're doing it in like revolutions, like once an hour?
So
or-
primarily, it's normally about 2 shows. You know, they will have an hour difference. It could be an 11:30. A lot of these shows here run later, I will say, but I have been appreciating. The older I've gotten, I've appreciated, the more earlier shows, like the 8 and the 9s, because the bitch be tired. But honestly, like
I'm tired. 11:30.
yeah, it's just.
You got me fucked up.
You got 3 minutes, 3-4 minutes to make a difference on stage.
That's all it lasts?
Are you gonna fucking like suck?
Yeah.
Just depending on how long the song is that you're doing. No copyright intended. But no, like it really just depends. Like, I mean, I can wear a dress, and just give glamour, or I can fucking wear this and give like Cardi B. You know what I mean? So it's what the venue calls for. You have to know your audience. I always like to kind of peek out the curtain and see what the audience is looking like. Maybe if I need to change my numbers real quick, just to try to please, but also stay true to who I am as an entertainer.
Yeah.
So you won't go having like a one set ready. You're kind of like going and looking before, and kind of playing it by ear almost.
Also, it just depends. Like
that sounds like experience.
If you've already emailed your music,
right,
that's what you're doing. But if you have a flash drive, like, hey, let me, if the crowd isn't what you want it to be. Hey, let me do this slower number. Let me keep it. Let's just roll on out. But no, like I said, performing for me has been an outlook on life and also just a way for me to express myself. Growing up, I didn't have the most confidence.
Right.
But up until I started performing and, dancing, and I fell in love with makeup, stealing my mom's fucking mascara. Yeah. I just grew to this confidence that no one can really take from me. Like, I mean... And I just love making people happy and making people smile. And most importantly, making people feel comfortable in their own fucking skin. Oh, yeah. Like, a lot of the shows I'm doing these days at Olga, we've done a lot of Dolce and Gelato shows. They are all ages. All ages are welcome. Now, some people might feel differently about exposing their kids to certain things, but hey, I'm not trying to be nobody's role model specifically. I just want to give off good vibes and be beautiful. Like, let's just have a fucking good time. Like, And I also will say this, like, what a child adapts to is what that child wants to adapt to. I grew up around drugs, violence, X, Y, and Z, but that doesn't mean I'm a crackhead. That doesn't mean, I'm fighting every bitch I see. Like, it's what you choose to kind of leech into, essentially, Like...
Right.
Do you do meet and greets after shows?
Absolutely. And I love taking pictures with everybody, I always feel like, wow, these people want to take a picture with me. Like, who the fuck am I? But no, I love it. It makes me feel good. And it lets me know, like, hey, and you can almost see, like, them cringe when they want to ask. But it's like, you want a picture? Come on, let's do it. Like.
I tell you what, dude, the shows that I have been to, because I've been to a couple shows, like, downtown. And they are some of the most fun times I've ever had. Like,
no judgment,
up,
just have a good fucking
much
time.
Fun.
It's like letting your hair down, bro. Like
it's so fun. Seriously, it's like it is. It's like it's the most open. Just like everybody's having a good ass time because it doesn't matter whatever club you go downtown to, like at downtown. There's always gonna be some dude like mean mugging somebody. There's always some weird shit going on. People might be fighting or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
There's like posturing going on. Yeah. There's egos and
there's like peacocking.
There's not enough.
Shit.
Yeah, there's not enough room in the.
Yeah, but at any time I've ever been to a show like that, it's always been the most like. There's no fucking issues.
It's all love. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's
almost all my female friends prefer going to gay venues as opposed to straight places because they don't have to worry about a fucking drunk guy trying to hit on them or staring at them the whole fucking night and try to follow them to their car. A gay club essentially, granted, anything can happen anywhere, but we're all there to have a fucking good time.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a question, and this is like off topic a little bit, but I was having a debate with somebody. So like, gay dudes are called what? Just gay, right?
Yeah.
But gay females are called lesbians. Why don't gay dudes get a name? Why is there no name? Right?
Yeah. Google it.
We're missing a thing.
Look, Google it.
We're missing a market here. There should be a name, or there's like, because like, as an outsider looking in, like, gay is such a wide term. Like, people, like, super mainstream people, like, people we know that are, like, fucking real tight and narrow with the things that they do, right?
Yeah.
They think everything that isn't straight is gay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So within that umbrella and that like community of people, you would think, because like I don't know where the terms come from. Like I don't know who invented lesbian as a term or like gay as a term or like. But how is there not been?
You just mean
a
like
gay dude term?
Yeah, like a gay, just a
like how is there just not like
that?
that's a Gary? You know what I'm saying? Like
Gary.
I mean, Gary's not.
Hold
the
on now. All right. Well,
Gary isn't it? Okay.
I'm dead. Not a
I'm just saying,
Gary.
like
Gary for sure should not be it.
But like somebody was like, "Oh, that's a gay girl," and I was like, "You mean a lesbian, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, she is lesbian," and I'm like, "Huh? Why is?" I mean, I'm
Hold
sure.
on, wait.
Why isn't there like a?
You know, I've never
gay
thought
guy
about that,
thing?
but that's a good question.
I haven't
Yeah,
really
that's a
thought
pretty
about
good.
it
Stand up
either.
and make one. This is your opportunity.
Yeah, let me Google it.
What are gay guys called? They're
What?
gonna just be like, "What?"
Yeah.
It's a weird Google.
It is a weird Google.
Your Google's
I'm
gonna be
doing
like-
it. I don't care.
Tell me about the ads you see later.
Right? My phone, my Instagram's gonna be like,
Your Google's gonna be like,
What's going
"Are you sure
on?"
you want to press send on this?"
yeah.
No, yeah, it's, yeah. I don't think there's gonna be an answer to that.
Probably
It just
not.
says homosexual.
Yeah, and it's like, but
then that means
that's
the same thing as-
that's the wide term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like an interesting thing, but
I don't know. That's weird.
so
yeah.
at what age did you really feel like maybe you started to gravitate towards something that you felt like wasn't the normal? Like people would say were the normal, like versus like drag or like gay or like these terms that people like to like glue to people. Like when did you start to feel? Was it like you were watching movies and you're like, oh, that'd be cool to try that, or like,
Yeah.
what was the thing?
Was the age? Or
Yeah,
not?
so like I would say about 13 years old. A big thing for me, I always wanted to dance. I've always wanted to be a professional choreographer. And that's still something that I want to do, and it's never too late, right?
Yeah.
But no, like my mom, and I hate to say this, but sometimes parents can hinder you from, you know, what the child wants to do.
Yeah.
My mother felt like it was feminine to like to dance. I know that sounds crazy, but I just wanted to get technique, you know, so years down, maybe 10 years from now, I would be fucking somewhere that I would like to be. Yeah. But I would say like dance for me, like was my first kind of, I just, you know, I like this. I want to entertain. I want to entertain. And I mean, my mother can't blame me because watching her, she was always entertaining, rather it be like the church plays that I witnessed her doing, or just something as simple as witnessing her doing her makeup, you know, and watching her cook. Like I started to kind of want to do those things for myself. I think it was 16 though, specifically when I was just like, you know what, fuck this. I'm going to dress how I want to dress, and I'm gonna find a way to get these clothes. I had an amazing brother. I will say, you know, he was very, very supportive as far as just me coming into my own. Like he never like was weird about no shit. Like, you know, we would joke about things more than anything, which is the best thing to do, you know, like don't take life so fucking serious. But yeah, dance for me was, I guess, like my way into this world, into being an entertainer, into being a performer. It's not something that she liked though. So I had to I had a late start, but I did it on my own.
Yeah.
And was it like, how did you know like drag was the direction? Like, I will say this, like, I didn't know I liked wrestling before I saw it, but the second I saw it,
Yeah.
that was the
hooked.
fucking bee's knees. That was the best thing going.
Yeah. Well,
You
see,
know?
I didn't, fucking go to a performing arts school. I didn't go to college, nothing like that. So for me, drag was my Broadway. Drag was my theater. It was when I found out, hey, put on a wig and some makeup and do some stuff on stage, you get money for it. That's easy. You know what I'm saying? So, and then, when you're actually good at it, you get more money.
Okay.
So, for me, it was like, you know what? This is my Broadway.
Yeah.
I'm going to be whoever the fuck I want to be this week. And next week, I'm going to be someone completely different. I'm just I'm like a chameleon. I'm constantly evolving. I'm constantly changing. And it's just beautiful to be like, I don't know. I don't think I could ever be just one thing. I don't know.
I mean, nobody can. And like, that shows like levels of maturity that you've realized, like, I'm not in this box. Like, whatever that box you think I am, even if people are just using blanketed terms, like, I'm not that blanketed term.
Yeah.
Like, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, you can be, and within those, I can be whatever I want to be. You can also change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, people have these structured things of like, oh, I don't like this, or I don't like that, or like I don't like whatever it is, religion, or I don't like hip hop, and then something will change, and you're like, that song,
part's cool.
that
Yeah.
song,
Yeah.
or that part, or
Yeah.
that artist, and then
Yeah.
it's like, then you get introduced to this like
Whole new.
yeah, and it might be
niche
it might even be an approach. Like, I didn't like drinking because my dad was an alcoholic, right? So I didn't drink until I was 30, and I'm 31 now, right? I mean, I drank when I was a little kid, but that was because I was like in a weird situation, right? Until I was around him, and he's so much younger than me, but he has an appreciation for the way whiskey is made, right? So it made me feel comfortable because of the approach. He wasn't like, let's get fucked up.
Yeah.
He was like, well, I like this stuff, and like I appreciate this stuff, and I love him, and like if I'm gonna do it around anyone, and that he cares about it, it made me feel like, why not try it? Because I'm comfortable.
Absolutely.
You know, so it might be an approach.
An approach, absolutely. It's so important to just let your kids be.
Yeah.
You know, because you never know, you might be raising the next fucking president.
Yeah.
Let them
Yeah.
be. If they know
Or
that they
icon.
like something,
It could be
Yeah.
anything.
Whatever.
anything, you know, it let them be who they want to be, as long as they're not doing no dumb shit, you know,
Yeah.
like hurting people and
Yeah.
doing some crazy
Exactly.
shit. Like, but no, like, have your structures, of course, as a parent, but let your child be.
Yeah. I think that's like I don't know where I was going, but I think like everybody hears about or has talked about like being forced to play sports as a kid, you know, like playing football for so long and then being like, fuck, I hate football. You know what I'm saying? Because you were forced to play it as a kid, you know? But I think now the newer generation of parents is much more just like, all right, cool, dude, do what you want to do. Like if that's something if you want to try playing football, go ahead. I'm right here for it, you know? But I think that was kind of a little bit older thing. You know, like even my age group, still we got, you know, forced to play sports that we didn't want to play, or because, you know, that's what my dad played or that's what my grandpa played.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like that was something that you had to fall
That's
into.
what Davises do.
Yeah, some shit like that, you know? Like, I mean, I was a little bit, like, I did gymnastics because my mom did gymnastics, you know what I'm saying? Like, just some of that stuff, but now it's a little bit more... People are a lot more open
of parenting now. It's like
yeah,
you want to be supportive, but you also want to inside that support teach them discipline. So it's
Right.
like what I learned discipline from. Of course, as a person, you feel like you'll learn discipline from.
right.
So that's like why I feel
Yeah.
like they
Tried to
impose do
force
football,
it on you.
football or like do golf because I know
Yeah.
it's tedious because I know you'll learn these lessons.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll
Yeah.
hit you differently, but I learned them like this. So like
Yeah.
maybe this
Which
will
I
help
don't
you.
know if it's a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
Like I get it. I get
least
where they're coming
try
from.
something,
Right.
you know?
I get where they're coming from. But it's like, you know, there's always that kid in the movie that's like being forced to play whatever the fucking
Yeah.
sport it is.
I mean, fucking
and hates
Euphoria.
it, you know, like
Like the kid's super pressured and he feels like he has to live in the image of his
oh
dad.
yeah.
And he's like, dude, I fucking hate you.
Yeah.
And he didn't care if his dad died or not.
Yeah.
And it's like fucking
Yeah. Full circle, baby.
full circle.
Oh, yeah.
Some people suck.
Yeah, just don't hinder nobody's growth. You never know
Yeah.
who
Hell
they can
yeah.
blossom to be.
Be supportive,
Yeah.
yeah.
My mom was always like, go outside, go play outside, go get dirty. And I wanted to fucking wash dishes and like watch TV with her, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything you want to promote or like put out there before we close this
Yeah,
off?
absolutely. So, this is so last minute, but again, thank you.
Yes,
You know,
anytime.
just for opening the spectrum, you know, just
Hell yeah.
being comfortable, both of you guys, for being comfortable in your own skin. I feel like this has been a very comforting session. I don't feel like there was any awkward moments, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hope I didn't make anyone uncomfortable with the
Oh, no.
with the vibe tonight.
you're
But
good.
no, like let's see. I will be in Mobile tomorrow. I have so many bookings coming up, guys. I just competed in a pageant. I didn't
Oh,
win,
shit.
but guess what? I felt like a winner and I did the
Yeah.
best I can do. And I just
Hell
want to say
yeah.
it's so important to just hold yourself to your standard. If you feel like you did a good job, that's all that fucking matters. But yeah, I have a couple bookings coming up if you guys want to keep up with that. My social media, Facebook preferably, is Alastina Jade Samore. That's Alastina, Alastina Jade, and then Samore, Samore. or you can follow me on Instagram at AllieJHer. But yeah, I have so many bookings coming up. I'm just super excited for so many different things coming up. April was extremely busy for me. You know, we're approaching Pride Month in May. So yeah, I just have a lot of good things. And if you guys want to check that stuff out, just follow my social media.
Oh yeah, and we'll tag you in the post whenever we drop the episode. So.
Yeah, for
dope,
sure.
dope.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us.
Thank
We
you
really appreciate it.
guys. Thank
So
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. We're going to get the fuck up out of here. We love you. Yee, 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 yee.